What if the world around you was just code? A fragile simulation where your deepest traumas birth giant monsters and only a digital hero could set you free. Sounds like sci-fi fever dream, am I right? Well, that's the heart of an underrated anime trilogy that's about to blow your mind. What's up, TFM Nation? It's me, TFM here again. Okay, today we're diving into a series that's flown under the radar for way too many anime fans, but trust me, it's a hidden gem, especially because of its genre. We're talking about the Gridman Universe, SSSS.Gridman, SSSS.Dynazenon, and the culminating movie, Gridman Universe. The reason I call it a hidden gem because of its genre is simple. It's rooted in Mecha.
Brother, what's that?
With giant robots battling kaiju in tokusatsu style, and that puts off a lot of general anime fans. Mecha often gets dismissed as niche or overly action-focused, scaring away viewers who might otherwise love its emotional depth. I'm talking about 86, But that's exactly what makes this franchise underrated and worth discovering. At first glance, this might look like just another mecha or tokusatsu-inspired anime with giant robots fighting kaiju, like Ultraman. Y'all know Ultraman? Yeah, I grew up watching Ultraman. Yeah, and I loved Ultraman. Don't come at me for it. But peel back the layers, and you'll find a deeply emotional story about escapism, human connections, and the blurred line between reality and fiction. Produced by Studio Trigger, this franchise reimagines a classic 90s tokusatsu series in a way that's fresh, heartfelt, and visually explosive. If you're into shows like Evangelion for their psychological depth or Ultraman for their heroics, this is your next binge. Studio Trigger isn't your average anime house. They are the rebels of the industry, known for over-the-top action, bold visuals, and stories that punch you in the feels while dazzling your eyes. Founded in 2011 by former employees of Gainax, Hiroyuki Imaishi and Masahiko Otsuka, Trigger broke off to chase creative freedom. Gainax gave us classics like Neon Genesis Evangelion and Gurren Lagann, but Trigger cranked that energy. Their debut? A wild short called Inferno Cop in 2012. Yeah, that one. A satirical cop from hell's story that's basically a fever dream. From there, they exploded with hits like Kill la Kill. And they've also done series like Darling in the Franxx, which we all should know by now. And yes, the most hit anime from Studio Trigger, that is Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Another fun fact about Inferno Cop is that the director himself of this series, SSSS.Gridman, Dynazenon, and Gridman Universe, also directed Inferno Cop. And another fun fact is that Akira Amemiya directed the 40th anniversary of Transformers' animated special video. Now let's move on to this director, Akira Amemiya, the GOAT himself, directing this Gridman saga. He is a Trigger staple. He started at Gainax after dropping out of college, debuting as an animator in 2004 on shows like This Ugly Yet Beautiful World. Yep, etchy, yep. Amemiya's got a knack for blending 2D character work with 3D mecha, and he's all about emotional depth in action-packed shells. His big break into directing came with a 2015 short for the Japan Animator Expo, and that is the Gridman the Hyper Agent Boys Invent Great Hero. That short was a love letter to the original series, and it paved the way for SSSS.Gridman. Now do the same for Transformers, please, I beg of you, Akira Amemiya, you're my GOAT. Speaking of the original, let's talk about history. The Gridman franchise draws from Denko Chojin Gridman, a 1993 to 1994 tokusatsu series by Tsuburaya Productions, the folks behind Ultraman. Yes, my childhood, our childhood, yeah! Created as a giant hero show, it ran for 39 episodes. It followed three kids, Naoto, Yuka, and Ippei, who built a computer called Junk, which will then later on be a part of the series. But anyway, enter Gridman, a hyper agent from another dimension who merges with Naoto to fight digital kaiju unleashed by the Condigifer. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, or Condigifer, but yeah. In the computer world, Yes, Computer World. It was innovative for blending live-action heroics with early CGI, tackling themes like technology's dangers. In the US, it got adapted as Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad, but the core idea, heroes battling in virtual realms, stuck. Amemiya and Trigger honor this while flipping it into something profoundly personal. Now let's jump into SSSS.Gridman, the 2018 series that kicked off this universe. Yes, this is right before Cyberpunk Edgerunners was a hit. It's set in the seemingly idyllic town of Tsutsujidai. I don't know if I pronounced it correctly, but yeah, Tsutsujidai. Yeah, anyway, Tsuburia. But something's off. It's a virtual world created as an escape. The story centers on Yuta Hibiki, our amnesiac protagonist. Waking up with no memories, he discovers an old computer housing Gridman, the hyper agent. Gridman needs Yuta to access and merge with him to fight kaiju terrorizing the town. But these aren't random monsters, they're born from the emotions of Akane Shinjo, a god-like figure in this world who is dealing with real-life trauma by reshaping reality. Helping Yuta are his friends, Rika, the level-headed girl next door with a mysterious connection to Akane, and Utsumi, the otaku hype man obsessed with tokusatsu lore. Yuta is your blank slate hero, but his amnesia mirrors the theme of lost identity. He grows by reclaiming his agency. Rika's the emotional core. She is compassionate but burdened. Utsumi's the comic relief, geeking out over Gridman's powers, but he evolves into a true friend. Then there's the Neon Genesis Junior High students. Get it? Neon Genesis? Evangelion? Yeah, you see what I'm saying? We got Samurai, Caliber, Max, Boar, and Vit, Gridman's assist forms. They're quirky, almost parodying Mecha sidekicks. Caliber's the stoic swordsman, Max the powerhouse, Boar the speedy tank, Vit the aerial support. They add flair to battles but symbolize fragmented parts of Gridman coming together. Antagonists shine too. Akane is not evil. She's a broken teenager escaping pain by fixing her world through kaiju, enlisting the alien Alexis Kerib, a manipulative entity feeding on her despair. Anti, a kaiju boy turned rival, starts as a villain but seeks purpose. The story unfolds as Yuta's team uncovers Tsujidai's artificial nature, leading to kaiju fights that reset the town but erase lives. It's a slow burn mystery with explosive climaxes. The art and animation, you might ask? Trigger at its best. 2D characters pop with expressive designs, fights mix hand-drawn flair with 3D mecha evoking tokusatsu suits but smoother. Colors shift from vibrant days to eerie nights, and the kaiju designs are grotesque, emotional manifestations. This series shows escapism isn't a fix. Akane's virtual paradise crumbles because ignoring real problems breed new ones. It's a love letter to tokusatsu while also critiquing digital isolation. If Gridman was about escaping inward, SSSS.Dynazenon flips it to building outward bonds. No direct sequel vibes, just new cast, new city, but subtle ties weave in. High schooler Yomogi bumps into Gauma, a bombastic kaiju user as he so called himself from ancient times, revived in the modern world. Gauma ropes Yomogi, enigmatic Yume, the neat Koyomi, and his cousin Shisei into piloting Dynazenon, a modular mecha to battle kaiju spawned by the kaiju eugenicists, a group aiming to evolve, as they call it, to evolve humanity through chaos. Characters are the strongest here, hands down. Yomogi's relatable everyman, juggling a job and crushes while learning responsibility. Yumi's the standout. Haunted by her sister's mysterious death, she makes promises she breaks, symbolizing fear of connection. Her arc from aloof to vulnerable is chef's kiss. Koyomi's a depressed adult stuck in the past, regretting lost opportunities. His growth feels raw and adult. Chisei, the youngest, deals with isolation and identity, finding purpose through Goldburn, her dragon companion. Gauma is the wild card, rash, loyal, with a mummy-like backstory tied to betrayal. The villains, kaiju eugenicist, Onija, Juga, Shizumu, and Mujina. No, wait, let's not simp anyway. Hey yo! Yo! Okay. Woo! They are the antagonists, so they're the villains. So let's not simp for the the baddie here. But
Stop it. Get some help.
they are the ex-comrades of Gauma. Onija's hot-headed, Juga is strategic, Shizumu philosophical, and Mujina apathetic. Their internal dynamics mirror the heroes, showing how unresolved trauma twists people. And shout out to Second and Knight, adding crossover spice. Knight is also known as Auntie from Gridman, but he has evolved, so yep. Plot-wise, it's episodic at first, kaiju of the week tied to characters' emotions, but builds to revelations about Gauma's past and the eugenicist's goals. Fights emphasize teamwork, with Dynazenon's parts combining in creative ways. The art and animation, as always, it's now even sharper than Gridman. Mecha designs are modular and fun, with fluid 3D battles full of debris and impacts. Character animation shines in quiet moments. Yumi's subtle expressions convey volumes. Colors are warmer, reflecting themes of healing. This series shows bonds burn bright against alienation. In the world of social pressures, these misfits overcome traumas by leaning on each other. It's about moving forward, not erasing the past. Dynazenon's strongest point is how characters' dissections feel lived in, making the heroism feel earned. And now, the 2023 movie Gridman Universe ties it all together in a chaotic, euphoric climax. It's the culmination, blending casts from both series into a multiverse mashup that not only delivers non-stop action but also thoughtfully resolves lingering questions and character arcs from Gridman and Dynazenon. Picking up post-Gridman into Tsujidai, Yuta's back to normal life as a second-year high schooler, but his memories of the kaiju battles are foggy, turns out. Gridman had overwritten part of his consciousness during their merge, leaving him displaced and struggling to reconnect with friends. He's awkwardly gearing up to confess his feelings to Rika during the school festival, while Utsumi directs a hilariously messy stage play recapping their forgotten adventures. But chaos erupts when universes start overlapping due to a called Big Crunch, as they call it, imbalance caused by the antagonist Mad Origin, an eldritch kaiju born from humanity's collective negative emotions. Essentially, Gridman's dark mirror. It's even an anagram of Gridman. This pulls in the Dynazenon crew, Yomogi, Yume, Koyomi, Chise, and the revived Gauma, stranding them into Tsujidai. Kaijus like Demorgan and Domgiran. With the rampage happening, it forced the epic team-ups. Gridman combines with Dynazenon into Rogue Kaiser Gridman. Grid Knight, also Auntie, powers up with Powered Zenon into full-powered Grid Knight. And even Alexis Carib flips sides temporarily. The climax escalates to a space battle where Akane returns as reformed magical girl creator with the Matrix of Leadership. Anyway, transforms fans will get that. Upgrading allies like Goldburn via Chise's designs, Gridman, empowered by everyone, blasts Mad Origin with a corrosive fixer beam, restoring the universes, but not before Alexis sacrifices himself in a moment of self-reflection. It's a love story wrapped in multiverse apocalypse, with Yuta's confession as the emotional anchor, and it cleverly explains the cosmology. Dynazenon's world was a distortion created by Mad Origin, while Gridman acts as the binding force across realities. It improves Gridman characters big time while tying up their loose ends. Yuta sheds his blank slate vibe by overcoming amnesia, reclaiming his agency through repeated transformations, and finally confessing to Rika in a heartfelt scene that affirms their bond. Very cute scene, by the way. I love that. But I need more. I need my side stories, please.
This shit means something to me, man.
starting a real relationship and keeping the primal acceptor for future threats. Rika deepens her connection to Yuta through the play script, scrapping idealized elements like Akane's old role to embrace real growth. She reciprocates his feelings, showing maturity in handling the chaos. Utsumi's otaku passion turns heroic and supports Yuta like a true bro, even comforting him amid rumors. Akane gets full redemption, now matured in the real world. She subdues Alexis and reconciles with Knight or Auntie by brushing his hair in a tender apology for past abuse, closing her arc of creation and destruction. For Dynazenon characters, the film masterfully ties up loose ends left from their series. Yomogi and Yumi solidified their romance with sweet moments, like fighting over the phone, sharing drawings.
よし、できた。
俺も。うわ、ひでえ。
こんな感じじゃないですかね。
うまいし。
And emotional hugs. While Yomogi affirms his chosen destiny despite learning his universe was a mad origin distortion, they host a farewell feast, providing closure to their trauma-haunted arcs. Gauma, revived after his death in Dynazenon, reunites tearfully with Yomogi and encounters his ancient love Hime in an inaccessible dimension for bittersweet resolution, and it leads the Neon Genesis group before moving on with Goldburn, finally finding peace beyond betrayal. A standout moment here is the revelation of the 3 things to remember, a recurring motif from Dynazenon where Gauma often preached about protecting, promises, and love, but always forgot the 3rd. In the movie, during a tender market scene with Hime, preparing food in their shared dimensional space, Gauma starts listing them again, stumbles on the 3rd, and Hime casually completes it.
いいか、よもぎ。世の中には人として守らなきゃいけないものが3つある。約束と愛と
賞味期限ですよね。必ず守ります。
By the film's end, Gauma fully incorporates it into his philosophy, declaring, in this world, there's 3 things you must protect: promises, love, and best by dates. This signifies the impermanence of life and relationships, literally tying into Gauma's past poverty and obsession with not wasting food, but metaphorically representing death, partings, and knowing when to let go of the past. It echoes their tragic 5,000-year-old history, serving as a reminder to cherish limited time together without clinging forever. This wisdom extends to characters like Yomogi and Yume, urging them and us, you, and the audience to embrace closure and move forward, adding profound depth to the franchise's themes of bonds and healing. Koyomi and Chise get meaningful cameos. Koyomi's neat regrets fade as he pitches in with jobs and feasts, while Chise upgrades Goldburn with her tattoo design, bidding humorous farewells and highlight her growth from isolation. Knight or Auntie with Second mentors Yuta as ghostly kids before fusing into their full forms, reconciling with Akane and joining the Gridman Alliance, resolving his search for purpose from both series. These crossovers aren't just fan service, they weave the narratives together, explaining how kaiju seeds spread chaos across worlds and how bonds transcend simulated realities. The film's a visual feast, non-stop action with fan service combos like Universe, spanning mecha fusions, chaotic euphoria in the finale, and Trigger's signature fluid 3D battles mixed with expressive 2D character work. Themes expand to the beauty of fiction. Worlds colliding inspire creation, mirroring how tokusatsu sparks imagination, with callbacks like reprised openings and meta symbols. The message of this film is that fiction's power is to connect realities and hearts. Love, inspiration, and human bonds transcend worlds, turning escapism into empowerment. It's a meta celebration of the genre, wrapping both series in a perfect bow while leaving room for eternal heroes. The Gridman Universe starts with a reimagined tokusatsu classic via Trigger's bold style and Amemiya's direction. Gridman explores escapism pitfalls through Yuta's team and Akane's world-building woes, Dynazenon elevates with character-driven bonds, turning personal traumas into triumphant unity. Gridman Universe culminates it all, deepening relationships and celebrating fiction's magic. Is it a hidden gem because of its niche mecha genre which puts off so many anime fans? Definitely, but this franchise blends heart-pounding action, profound themes, and stellar animation into something timeless. If you haven't watched it, start now. It's on Crunchyroll or wherever you want to watch it. Pirates. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I love this series so much as a Transformers fan and also as an anime fan myself. As someone who grew up watching Ultraman, this series is something else, and I can 100% guarantee that I can call this peak fiction. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys on the next one. I will be doing another video of this Gridman series, Gridman Universe series, on my main channel this time. Although I'm gonna do a collaboration, that is this channel and my main channel. And then next video essay will now be the Eminence in Shadow or 86, depending on you guys. What do you guys want? Anyway, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.